Hello, my spooky little ghouls. I am Thempire Ian, and welcome to Baddie Decks, the series where I give you a profile on a deck that I've been brewing up on a whim for your entertainment. I've been brewing up a spooky deck with my Witch's Brew for Halloween, and the new set Darkwing Blast has given us just the ingredient needed to complete it. The new trap card, Destructive Daruma Karma Cannon, which is a perfect card to enhance the gameplay of a certain ghoulish deck. So today, we're looking at Ghost Trick. Let's take a look at these undead cuties and check out the deck. So here's the deck. For those who don't know, Ghost Tricks are an archetype of spooky little monsters that have effects when flipped up and can flip themselves back down again. They also have a series of field spells that prevent our face-down monsters from being attacked, some powerful Ixies monsters with a forgotten alt win con, and a new Link monster that is the only Link monster able to be made with face-down monsters. They also have some interesting trap cards, particularly Ghost Trick Knight, which is a continuous trap which prevents our opponent from flip summoning. Now normally our opponent wouldn't be flip summoning anyways, so why would they care? Well, with our archetype and out of archetype tools for flipping them face down, these cards will be taking up valuable board space, only able to be freed up through tribute summons, another thing most people aren't doing. And with a destructive Daruma Dharma Cannon able to flip monsters face down and then destroy Link monsters as well, the thing that throws a wrench in our plan by not being able to be flipped face down, I think the Ghost Trick Knight strategy has some legs. Let's get into the card by card. First up, for the monsters, we have 3 Siren. This card allows us to search Ghost Trick spells and traps after milling 2 cards, and one of them being a Ghost Trick card. It's not ideal, which is something we're going to say about a lot of these cards, but we are very likely to mill our Ghost Trick cards, since the deck is mostly Ghost Tricks, and we really do need these Ghost Trick spells. We also want Ghost Trick monsters, and this is basically the best one. Next up is 1 Mummy to give us an extra normal summon. Helps us establish board presence. Not going to come up very often, but it is searchable, so we're only playing 1. Next up is 3 Zhang-Shi, which is the worst Stratos ever conceived by man or machine, but it does search our monsters, and it is another monster for our name pile. At first, it'll only be able to search out level 1 monsters, but as we grow our board, it allows us to search more, assuming we can maintain board presence, which is a big assumption. We have 1 Neko Musume. This card is a floodgate, which prevents level 4 or higher monsters from being summoned without being flipped immediately face down. It's not great, like all the cards here, but it is interesting. And having 1 of it is pretty good. It's also a level 2, which means it's pretty easy to search. It's got its uses, for sure. If you go first and you get that vaunted Neko Musume, Ghost Trick shot, Ghost Trick Knight, and maybe a field spell hand, it's incredible. It's absolutely not unstoppable because Sprite literally goes right under it, but it's crazy against a lot of decks. We have 3 Doll. This is one of the better Ghost Tricks. Maybe even the best one, up there with Siren. This card, when flipped face up, creates a lingering effect that triggers in the end phase that flips all face up monsters face down. Then you can special summon a Ghost Trick monster with a level equal or less than the number of monsters flipped down. So what this does is it takes all our opponent's monsters and puts them face down, and all of our Ghost Tricks and puts them face down, and then it lets us summon a monster in face down defense position, which not only sets up more board presence, but also puts their monsters face down in order to do Ghost Trick Knight. But it does activate in the end phase, so or rather resolve in the end phase. It activates whenever it's flipped up. It's a very weird effect. You got to be careful with it. We have 1 Jack Frost, which isn't very spooky, but it is a nice battle trick. When your opponent declares a direct attack as per our field spell's conditions, we get to flip an opponent's monster face down and then summon Jack Frost, who can make a really nifty Ghost Trick Festival. We only have 1 because of how Zhang-Shi can get it turn 1, and it's not really necessary after a certain point in time. And we have the 3 Mary. We don't really have like 10 million Battle Faders. It's a matter of which ones do we want to cut down on, and I think Jack Frost is the one to cut down on. Speaking of, though, we have 3 Ghost Trick Mary, because it is able to after you take the damage, you do have to take the damage, discard itself, and then summon a Ghost Trick from deck, getting us to the cards we actually want to be playing. So that's really nice. Unfortunately, it does not end the battle phase or anything, so those monsters are vulnerable for attack. The last monster is down here because I added it on a whim. It is Warwolf. Has a decent attack stat and does burn damage, 100 damage for every set card on the field, including our opponents, and field like spells and everything. Not a good card, but it's in here to do more damage and close out the game a little faster. All right, next we have the spell traps, which we have a ton of. First up is Harpy's Feather Duster. You got to be main decking spell trap removal these days. And Harpy's Feather Duster is the one I'm using. We got 3 Dark Ruler No More. Can you imagine activating Dark Ruler No More and then flipping all their monsters face down, and then Ghost Trick Knight, and then you can't flip them up anymore? So it's in here because it's good, but also it allows us to flip their monsters down without any interruption. Very nice. Next is 3 Ghost Trick Shot, probably the best Ghost Trick card ever printed. This allows us to special summon a Ghost Trick monster from hand or grave, and also flip up a face-down Ghost Trick monster. That's almost never happening. And then also in the grave, it can banish itself to attach a Ghost Trick in grave as to an Ixies as material. So it has like 10 effects that are all amazing. Next up is Terraforming. We need to get to these field spells, so we're playing a field spell searcher. Next we have Book of Moon, still one of the best interruption cards around. Except for exactly Link monsters, but we have Daruma Cannon for that. And it works into our Ghost Trick Knight plan, so it works double well for us. Here we have Set Rotation, another field spell searcher, and an Out to Mystic Mine. That's kind of funny, you know? We also have Ghost Trick Parade as our Set Rotation target. We're not going to be activating this one unless we absolutely have to, because it makes our opponent take no damage. It does allow us to add a Ghost Trick card from a deck to hand if we get attacked, but it doesn't have the damage, like our next card does. Ghost Trick Mansion halves the damage of all battle except Ghost Trick monsters. And since we're using exclusively Ghost Trick monsters, for the most part, we have that bonus. We're able to take very little damage and deal a lot of damage instead. It's perfect for our strategy, except that for Ghost Trick Knight, we need to have a Ghost Trick face up on the field, and Ghost Trick Mansion doesn't really have a provision to help us with that. Festival helps a little bit because it's on the field and then it can move off the field to get another Ghost Trick from deck, but then once it's gone, there's no Ghost Trick face up on the field. So, like, if Ghost Trick Festival couldn't be targeted for attacks, like one of those, you know, little tiny weenie monsters, like it feels like it should be, that would be better, but it's not for some reason. For some reason, it can be targeted for attacks. I don't know why. Next up, we have traps. We have Ghost Trick Scare, which flips up our Ghost Trick monsters and then flips down our opponent's monsters equal to the number of Ghost Tricks we flipped up. This does trigger our effects while also locking down our opponent's board. Next, we have Metaverse, which is a field spell searcher. Even on our opponent's turn, just bam, activate Ghost Trick Mansion, protect our life points. And then we have the reason for the season, Destructive Daruma Karma Cannon. This card flips down all monsters on the field and then destroys every single monster left face up, those being the Link monsters that we can't lock down otherwise. Also trap monsters that can't be flipped down, it deals with them too. This also applies to our Festival though, so we want to do this before we get Festival up, ideally early on in the game. Once Triple Tactics releases in Photon Hypernova, it'll slot perfectly into this deck, allowing us to get Karma Cannon early if we get interrupted somehow. And lastly, we have the win condition of the deck, Ghost Trick Knight, our continuous trap that prevents our opponent from flip summoning. It also has a second effect where when it's destroyed by your opponent's card and sent to the grave, it prevents them from attacking for the rest of the turn. So if they manage to out your Ghost Trick Knight, and how could they? It's so protected. If they manage to do that, you are protected for the rest of the turn, but just for the rest of the turn. Now for the extra that we'll rarely go into, we have Zeus, because we play Ixies, gotta have the easy board wipe. We have 3 Angel of Mischief. This is one we make on top of our other Ixies because we don't really have many 4s. We have the 3 Siren, and that's about it. It can also search a Ghost Trick spell trap, and it has an alt win con if you want to be really funny and really bad. Next is 3 Alucard. Alucard is probably the best of the regularly makeable Ixies because it can destroy a set card. It also gets a card back when it's sent to the graveyard, a Ghost Trick card to hand, you know? Next is Ghost Trick So Cute Boss. This is a succubus that has been censored. She is very sleepy. I vibe. I vibe with how sleepy this child is. It's probably one of the worst of them. However, if you meet the very strict stipulations of the card, you can lock down a monster card zone as long as you control a Ghost Trick monster, which helps our win condition. Next, we have a Ghost Trick Dullahan, which is very unlikely to be made. We only have one level 1 monster we want to summon at all. That's okay though. These are mostly for going into Angel of Mischief, and you really won't be going into them very much at all. They don't really serve the win con that we're trying to achieve here. If you want to play Ghost Trick Ixies, you're going to want to take your Utopic Draco Future and your Utopic Future and go play a better deck. You're going to want to get some of the psychic monsters that summon themselves for free. You know, it's not here. Lastly, we have Ghost Trick Festival, the Link monster for the archetype. It stays face up on the field for night, allows our Ghost Trick monsters to attack directly even if our opponent's monsters aren't all face down, and if an attack is declared, Festival can attribute itself to summon a Ghost Trick monster from deck face down. However, it can still be targeted for an attack by our opponent, so it's a bad card. It's a bad card! It sounds nutty, but it's just a bad card. Just a bad card. Now for the side, first we have the hand traps. We have 3 Ghost Bell and Haunted Mansion, and 3 Ash Blossom. These 2 are meta hits against Sprite in tier, just in case we need to add a little bit of hate for those decks. Ash is also good against random FTK bullshit if you happen upon it. So just, I will make sure to have it in the side at least, just because it can just shut down an FTK deck that's full of bullshit, you know? Next is some of our spice. We have 3 Book of Lunar Eclipse. This card is not very good in a normal deck, but only to the Joker would this deck be considered normal. This card has us discard a card to flip 2 monsters face down. We can revive our Ghost Tricks with Ghost Trick Shot, so discarding Ghost Tricks really doesn't hurt us at all. These are designed to go in going second, because if we know we're going second, Book of Lunar Eclipse is going to do a lot more for us than Daruma Dharma Cannon, just because of the ability to play it immediately as soon as it's drawn. Next up, we have Twin Twisters, more back row hate, because you gotta be packing all the back row hate these days. I'm kind of sad I couldn't fit these in the main, to be honest. And lastly, we have 3 Solemn Judgment for going first to help protect our plays. If it's good enough for Mystic Mine, it's good enough for us. And one thing I want to say before we get into games is it is a 42 card deck. But there's a lot of value cards in here that we want to have, so we can sneak a little extra 2 in here. I'm still on the fence about Warwolf in particular. It just doesn't seem good enough. But I'm also worried about not having that way to close out the game fast enough, especially with spell and trap removal being more common in this format. It's just a matter of taste, honestly. If you want to cut stuff, there's plenty of stuff to cut, and maybe after the games I'll show you some alternate builds. But yeah, for now, let's get into the replays. Alright, our first game is on the casual ladder of Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega. This is actually why we're switching to Omega for this one. It's for the ladder. It makes it a little easier to get these videos out. So, our hand is a hand of all time. It is not good, but we're going to make it work. So, we're going to start, and we're going to set rotation. And we're going to get our field spell. We're going to activate that field spell. It is now Ghost Trick Mansion. Pass. But then our opponent sets 4 and pass. So we're just kind of staring at each other for a little bit. We're going to set Zhengxi. They're going to Terrors of the Overroot, sending our Zhengxi and setting set rotation. We cannot use set rotation. We have no more targets. They're going to set another card and pass it back over. We're going to set another card and pass it back over. At least it's a mummy. At least it's a mummy. They're going to activate Chandralagur to set Welcome Labyrinth. Then they're going to pass back to us. They're going to, in draw step, Welcome Labyrinth to get the big lady. Then they're going to compulse our card back to hand. And they're going to activate the effect of the Chandralagur. And then they're going to activate it again to set Welcome Labyrinth one more time. Then we're going to set the mummy again and set Scare. They're going to Prospe. Don't really care about this, but we didn't really have anything to interact with it anyways. They grab Ku-Klok off the top. They're going to activate Welcome Labyrinth to grab Ariana. Ariana's effect is going to activate to grab the field spell. They activate our field spell in order to activate their field spell. Then they go to battle. They attack it with Ariana. We're going to marry to grab Siren. They're going to attack with Big Lady, and we're going to flip that face down with Jack Frost. See, I told you Jack Frost was good. Alright, Siren will activate. They're going to Imperm, but we're going to Book of Moon our own Siren to make sure it activates. We mill a Ghost Trick Shot, so we get to search Ghost Trick Knight. They're going to activate their field spell to get another Big Lady. And then they're going to Daruma Karma Cannon as soon as we make Festival with Siren. We just wanted to get Festival on field, but since they decided to Daruma Cannon, I mean, that clears everything for us. They must have not read Ghost Trick Knight when we searched it. So we're going to get back the Siren with Ghost Trick Shot. We're going to bring out Mummy and Jack Frost and attempt to get some damage in. We're going to then flip our Siren down for more card advantage, and we're going to set Knight, activating it in draw step to prevent them from flip summoning anything. They're going to activate Ku-Klok, and then they're going to realize that they can't flip summon anything and surrender. This is everything working as intended. Surprisingly good game. Now we have a best of 3 from the ranked ladder. We are again having a hand of all time, but there's some useful stuff in here. So we have the field spell, we have monsters, we have Scare. That's not bad. Our opponent is on Branded. And the new Branded stuff is scary. It is very scary. We are going to see a lot of it right now. The Dragon Keeper, Duel Link staple, Keeper of Dragon Magic, Duel Link staple, and now just a good card. It searches Branded Fusion. What more do you want? They are going to do things. They are doing things and stuff. They have banished Ra's Disciple, which, yes, they are playing Ra's Disciple, and you're going to see why. They set Branded Expulsion after setting up a board of assholes. They're going to tribute their... They just have a fucking Contact Fusion now. And they're going to tribute it for Branded Expulsion to summon Aluber to their side of the field and Ra's Disciple to our side. Aluber will trigger, and Ra's Disciple prevents us from special summoning monsters except by the effect of Ra's Disciple. So we're locked now. It is Barrier Statue. But worse. It is actually worse than Barrier Statue for us. We're going to set rotation, taking some damage from Masquerade. We gotta get the field spells up, I guess. Okay, what else do? We set a Siren, we set a Ghost Trick Scare. We aren't really keen on special summoning, so the Ra's Disciple isn't interrupting us that much, and we hope that this is enough. They're going to activate the other effect of Keeper of Dragon Magic and summon back Albaz. Then they're going to Polymerization for Guardian Chimera, which Branded Lost will prevent us from responding to. They're just going to pop our board and... Hey, what do I do? What do we do? We have done our best. No other... Like, this is not even just a my deck being bad. This is a Ghost Tricks are bad situation. Like, any build of Ghost Tricks that wasn't specifically not playing Ghost Tricks would lose to this. Like, we're going to summon the Ghost Trick Siren off of the Mary. They're going to banish it with Mirror Jade. We're not going to be dying yet, but they're going to Super Poly and Starving Venom Fusion, and then we're down to less than 600, which is like the most insulting place to be because Masquerade Dragon will do lethal to us, so we can't pay. We can't pay for any effects. We decide to set pass. T-set pass. It's T-set pass. It doesn't even matter because if they can just banish our Ghost Trick doll and go for lethal, we can't activate Book of Moon. And we are... What was I supposed to do? What was I supposed to do? Game 2, we have drawn even worse. This is the worst hand of Ghost Trick I have ever seen in my entire life. It is not good. We're going to attempt to make some plays. We are going first. We are going to set the Siren, activate the Ghost Trick shot to summon the Zhangxi and activate Siren's effect. And then we mill the Solemn Judgments that I cited in instead of anything that is a Ghost Trick card, so we don't get to have a search, and we've lost 2 Solemn Judgments that we could have drawn and had plays. But no. So we're going to flip it down, and we're going to use Zhangxi to make Festival, and we're just going to lose. Like, I know right here we're going to lose. They evenly match, not even necessary. We send the Siren. Honestly, we should have sent Festival, because apparently they weren't going to do anything that turn. We summon back the Zhangxi with Shot, go for a little bit of damage after activating Mansion. And we flip it back down, and we wait to see how we die. And there's the Aluber. Aluber searches Branded Fusion. They get to just activate Branded Lost, of course, because they have it. They're going to activate Branded Fusion, make Lubellion. They're going to pitch Mercurier. They just get to do everything. They just get to do everything. They grab the Incredible Ecclesia, which they're playing now. They banish our Zhangxi. They Feather Duster away our Mansion. They don't want to see it anymore. They grab Masquerade just to hurt us. They grab Despian Tragedy. They attack with Despian Tragedy. We get to summon back Siren after taking 600 because of Masquerade. They Forbidden Droplet us after attacking with Tragedy. They attack with Aluber. We put the Mirror Jade face down with Ghost Trick Jack Frost. Probably should have waited on the Jack Frost, but honestly, the game is already over. They're going to grab Red Branded in Red to use it. Incredible Ecclesia comes back to hand. Then it's our turn. We do draw Destructive Dharma Cannon. We set it. They go. They flip up the Mirror Jade. We immediately activate the Dharma Cannon. If we're going to survive, we have to stop that from being on field. They could flip up these 2. I don't know why they don't. I think they can't. But they just get everything back, and they make another Masquerade. There's 2 of them now. They are going to attack us for some damage. They flip up them now. I don't know why they didn't flip them up to go for lethal. But we draw Book of Moon, and... I mean, what am I supposed to do with this? I just flip the Mirror Jade down. It's over. Finish me. And they do. Just an awful game. Ghost Tricks, everyone. So that's the deck. It's kind of bad. Yeah. It's Ghost Trick. What do you want? I tried my best. These cards are just so slow. And they're not even very strong to make up for the fact that they're so slow. Zhangxi is a joke. Siren is a start, but like it's so bad still. Like if we had gotten a search off of Siren, we could have had some plays, potentially. But instead we milled 2 Solemn Judgments and we got nothing. Why does it have to mill? Why does it have to mill specific things in order to get the search? Why any of this? Why? Why all of these restrictions? Why is the deck so bad? I don't get it. Their win condition all over the place. What is the point of Ghost Tricks? What are you trying to do when you play Ghost Tricks? Are you trying to get the alt win condition? Most of the cards aren't designed for the alt win condition. There's only 2 cards designed for the alt win condition, the alt win condition card and Ghost Trick Shot. Are they trying to burn? There's only 1 burn card. Are they trying to mill? There's only 1 mill card. Are they trying to spam Ixies? If so, they're too slow for it. Are they trying to link summon out Festival? If so, why is Festival so bad? Is the point of the deck to do Ghost Trick Knight? That seems to be the most reasonable to me because everything involves flipping stuff face down. However, it's not good enough, and Link monsters completely destroy it. Dharma Cannon is the only reason I've ever thought to play this version of the deck. And if the whole entire deck is designed around this, what does that say about the deck building process? Like the deck creation process here. It's just, what is going on? What is going on? The only winning thing about Ghost Tricks is the incredible aesthetic, which, look at them. They're amazing. I love them all. Every single one is perfect. Wait, are the backgrounds are like slightly different on all of these. I think that's an Omega thing. But the aesthetic is amazing. And so are the Ixies. The Ixies are pretty good, and the fact that you can just do a UDF stupid combo with them, very funny. Actually, I take it back. The Ixies aren't amazing. They're like, the only good part about them is they make UDF. Alucard can pop a set card. That's pretty cool, but not a lot of cards are set anymore. So they're fine. Like the Ixies are fine. The main deck monsters are crap. It's so frustrating because I want them to be good so bad. And of course, there's a ton of other ways to build Ghost Tricks. Mine is not the only way because of those 10 million awful win conditions. But as for this Ghost Trick Knight win con, I think there's a couple other ways to build this. There's a possibility of cutting down on the field spell searches like set rotation, potentially even Metaverse. You could cut down on the Warwolf for sure. Just like little things here and there, cut down on some of the bulk that's in the deck. And then throwing in 3 Pot of Extravagance, or maybe Prosperity. Extrav is probably preferable just to get more of these interruption cards, which are really vital to the deck's success. The thing you're probably noticing in those duels is that we run out of resources so fast. We need those resources. And Extrav gets more resources than Prosby, but Prosby digs deeper to get more of those resources that you actually need at the moment. And if you banish all 3 Festival, it's not good, folks. It's really not good. We could also try going up on Neko Musume to like really bank on her Floodgate effect. The Floodgate effect is funny. I was really hoping to be able to show off the Floodgate effect in one of the duels I did, but it just didn't work out. They were playing Mayakashi, so it didn't work out. But it also just loses against Sprite. Like Sprite goes completely under Neko Musume. Wait a minute. Neko Musume is a 2. Sprite, Neko Musume as a Floodgate Turbo. I'm gonna make Ghost Trick Sprite, and it's just gonna be the Ixies play with the So Cute boss, where you make UDF before you go into the Sprite plays, and then you summon Neko Musume off of Gigantic Sprite. But yeah, like if you draw Bookamoon, maybe you could stop Sprite if you have the Neko Musume Floodgate plan going. But you got to draw the Book of Moon and maybe a second Book of Moon if they have starters. So this seems really bad. Another tech to try, Tour Guide. You can play Tour Guide in here. None of the ghost tricks are level 3 and Fiend. Like there's Fiends. The Fiends are all level 1. And the level 3s are like all zombies. So you can go into Alucard off of Tour Guide though. You play 3 Tour Guide summons Tour Guide, you go into Alucard, and then you got a free Alucard. So that's pretty good. It's actually probably better than what I'm playing right here. So maybe try that. Not sure about it though. I mean, Tour Guide's a major Ash target. I would say probably just don't play the deck. This is probably as good as I think pure Ghost Tricks can be, unfortunately. I mean, I think one thing that really shows the disparity here is look at the price point for the main deck. Look at the price point for the extra deck. Look at the price point for the side deck. It's none of these cards are good. None of these cards, like, okay, so this card is good. These cards are good. The cards that aren't Ghost Tricks are good, yes. The Ghost Tricks, they just don't work. It's really unfortunate. They just aren't good. They look amazing though, so I still love them, regardless. I adore the Ghost Tricks. I'll always adore the Ghost Tricks. So, maybe don't give it a try, but if you ever find a new Ghost Trick tech to try, let me know. And that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoy Ghost Tricks. Or maybe don't enjoy them, just collect them and put them in binders and adore them. And again, you know, if you have any, you know, new techs to show me, definitely let me know. Hit me up on Twitter. I'll be glad to see them. Just tag me in it or whatever. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. I hope you like the video. And if you do, give it a like. That's what you do here. It's youtube.com. Are you new here? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it with all your friends, ring the bell for notifications. It's all simple, folks. Just do it. You can also follow me on Twitter and Twitch if you really like my stuff, and if you think I should be compensated for my labor, you can head on over to my Patreon and give me money on a monthly basis. You can also, and this is a secret, folks, so don't tell anyone, but you can use my tip link and give me money on a one-time basis. And if you do so, you'll be contributing to my new model, which we are fundraising for right now as part of the October Spooky Pride Tipathon, a thing I do every year. So this content will never be outdated. But yeah, we are fundraising right now. So if you can help us out, you can give a little money to the Tipathon by using my tip link or the Patreon. You can also go to my Throne wish list, give me a gift, or you can go to my TCG Player affiliate link in the description and go to TCG Player, get any single sealed product or accessories you want. If you want to build that Ghost Trick deck, even though I told you not to, go for it. They're all there on TCG Player, and you can get what you want and support the channel all at the same time. But as always, if you cannot afford to do so, please don't. It'll be fine, I promise. But yeah, make sure to check out my Tipathon streams if you're watching this in October, the spookiest month of the year. It is Spooky Pride, and I'll be fundraising for something, and I want your help to do it. So go check them out. If it's not October anymore, give me money anyways, unless you can't afford to do so, as we said earlier. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed one last time, and I'll see you in the next one. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and have a wonderful rest of whatever time it is for you. Bye, everyone!